Hi, I'm Louise from A2A Training, and I'll give you an overview of the Paraplanner and Financial Planner Level 4 Endpoint Assessment. So there are special gateway requirements for this endpoint assessment. So in addition to confirmation of readiness and English and maths, the apprentice must have completed and passed all requirements of one of the qualifications listed in the occupational standard, except for their final examination. So you can check that in the assessment plan. They'll also submit a portfolio of evidence ready for the professional discussion. And the endpoint assessment should be completed within 5 months of us approving Gateway. There's 3 elements to the endpoint assessment. There's a case study report of around 2,500 words and a question and answer session for around 45 minutes. A professional discussion of around 60 minutes, which is underpinned by the portfolio of evidence, and the knowledge test, which is delivered and marked by the awarding body. A2A Training will claim the final apprenticeship certificate once all 3 components have been successfully completed and evidenced. So the first element of the endpoint assessment is the case study test with report and question and answer session. So as the apprentice, you'll complete a report of around 2,500 words based on a case study scenario outlining the advice needs for a fictitious client. You must start the case study after Gateway when the scenario is released by the endpoint assessor. So the financial report must be submitted within 2 weeks of the case study being released, and the question and answer session will take place around 2 weeks after that. So the question and answer session will be a structured session to give the apprentice opportunities to demonstrate the knowledge and skills mapped to this assessment method and to achieve the highest grade they're capable of. This session will last around 45 minutes, and the independent endpoint assessor will ask at least 5 questions with follow-up questions for clarity. The purpose of the Q&A session is to verify the activity was completed by the apprentice, seek clarity when needed, assess all the KSBs and criteria for this assessment method, and to assess the level of competence against the grading descriptors. So the second part of the endpoint assessment is the professional discussion, which is underpinned by the portfolio of evidence. Whilst on programme, the apprentice must compile a portfolio of evidence, which should contain evidence related to the key skills and behaviours that will be assessed by the professional discussion. Evidence must be mapped against the KSBs, and we've provided a mapping document to support you in doing this. We are looking for quality rather than quantity, and this should be a showcase of your best work produced whilst on the apprenticeship programme. So the portfolio itself should contain around 20 pieces of evidence and can include workplace evidence and documentation or records, for example, workplace policies and procedures, witness statements, manager and peer feedback, annotated photographs or videos, or other workplace evidence. Recordings or videos, if they're used, should be kept short and should be timestamped so that your assessor can easily access specific evidence they're looking for. Evidence must be authentic and current, and any teamwork or collaborative work, including the use of AI, must be clearly referenced. So the professional discussion underpinned by the portfolio of evidence will last around 60 to 66 minutes. The professional discussion will be looking at the following themes: the financial services market, systems and processes, service delivery, communication and collaboration skills, continuous professional development, product analysis and service support for Paraplanner option, and products and financial planning tools for the financial planning option. You'll be given at least 2 weeks' notice of the date for your professional discussion. So the third and final element of the endpoint assessment is the knowledge test. This can only be attempted after the other 2 elements of the endpoint assessment have been completed, and it is not conducted by A2A Training, but is conducted by the awarding body. At A2A Training, we will require proof that this has been completed and passed. So here's the grading table for this endpoint assessment, and there are fail, pass, merit and distinction options available, with resits and retakes capped at a pass. So you will need to be in a suitable room on your own to complete your endpoint assessment, and it will most likely be completed online using platforms such as Teams or Zoom. The EPA is completed under examination conditions and can be completed from work, home or from your college or training provider. Please log in around 15 minutes early to check your connection, and always check the requirements of the assessment plan, and any changes to the assessment plan must be strictly adhered to. The case study question and answers is around 45 minutes and the professional discussion around 60 minutes, but please allow extra time for setup and contingency. Please remember to bring photographic ID on the day of your endpoint assessment, like a passport or driver's licence. Good luck with your endpoint assessment, and here's our email address should you need us.